Hello, Mark Cashman here, and we're going to spend a couple of minutes checking out the new feature that shows up in Microsoft Lists, or if you're in SharePoint on a list, also shows up in the document libraries. So if you're in SharePoint across lists and libraries, there's the new workflows capability, and it is also the same experience when you're in Microsoft Teams. So the new workflows UX across SharePoint and Teams. We're going to look at it primarily here through Microsoft Lists, or a list that's stored in SharePoint. And I'm in this list here for the marketing calendar that we maintain here at Sympraxis. And I'm just going to click right into it so you can see and start getting to the point where you want to try it yourself. So here is the Workflows button. And when it launches, it really is a vast array of things that you can do to build workflows on your lists or libraries. In this particular list, I've already got a few workflows that are created, two of which are inactive and one that is active. I'll click into the active one just so you can start to see what does a workflow look like. This is one that is running, so it's active. I can turn it off, I can edit it, I can delete it, but I also see its run history, who the co-owners are, and all the things that you expect to manage a flow. What gets most interesting is when you go in to edit an existing workflow, you can change the parameters, but it's also a way to understand what this flow does. When a new list item is added to the marketing calendar, that's this list that you see behind, within the marketing team site, send a message to the general channel in the marketing team. So this is all connected SharePoint and Microsoft Teams, and you can see that it's programmed against this set of data, the marketing site, marketing calendar, marketing in general. So if I back it up and I go into another workflow, just to show you a variety, this one actually creates a new task in Planner, but based on that same parameter. Currently it's inactive. I'm just going to turn it on so you can see what that looks like. And I can see that I've run it a number of different times, who the owners are if I scroll down, and I can go into edit mode. It's now on, and it's going to get triggered from the marketing calendar list, and it's going to then go in and look for the plan that I programmed it against. It happens to be this plan that I created within the marketing group, and the title of the task is going to be Get Her Done, assigned to me. So again, pretty basic, but I can go through and pick what it is that I want to do. So let's create one, and then we'll show what happens when we trigger it. So we're going to build from scratch one that's kind of similar to this new items that get created are going to trigger a chat to be created in Microsoft Teams. So I like to build from scratch just so you can see all the choices. When the trigger, and this is going to come from SharePoint, when the trigger is a list item gets created, I want the action to be something that happens in Teams, sends a message to a chat or channel. So it's kind of got things listed for me already. It knows the SharePoint site and the list that I'm intending, knows which channel to go to in the marketing, but specifically, that it's a channel conversation. And here I want it to post into the general channel of the marketing team. And I'll say, hello, everyone. We have a new request. And this is where we're going to use kind of the smarts of the list. We're going to use the item name that gets filled out by the name of the person that submitted, and that it needs to be triaged. So that's the message that's going to get posted. I'll click Save, and you'll see it creates a new workflow that's going to get already by default activated. And now we're going to see what it looks like when we create a new item. All right, we'll create a new item here called Hello World Cup. I'll get a little soccer emoji going in there. And we'll choose this as a planned item. Put myself in here. Keep it pretty simple. And make this as a blog post request. So click Save. Get a new item that shows up right away. And if all went well, when we switch over into Teams land, this will show up as a new item. You can see I've been doing a couple little tests here, but if I wait, we'll have a new item that appears, and we're just looking for that soccer emoji. All right, so there it is. Hello World Cup has been added as a new item. Check it. And this is all based on me having programmed that workflow to then say that specifically. And if you scroll back a little bit, you'll see it started off kind of bland. And that's because I just kept it generic out of the box, but then went to have a little bit of fun with it. So this is obviously where this particular workflow led as a notification, as a post in a Teams channel. But if we go back into our list and I go into that specific workflow that we just created, we'll prove out that this particular flow is actually a real Power Automate flow. So if I go into Edit, you'll see here in the bottom right where it says Edit in Power Automate. So let's do that. So this should launch us into the Power Automate Designer. And here we are in Power Automate, the full meal deal. And we are now in this particular flow. That certainly we've got the full access to then do whatever we want, to add additional actions, to adjust the message by putting in some new things that come from the list or just preferences that we have. And of course, all the details, if you go up a level, will show you how often it's been run and all the things that you want to do. So it is a real Power Automate flow that's super easy to create directly from within the list or library. Last fun thing, just so you can see that it is cross apps. If I'm here in my general channel, I can go in here and there is the same workflows capability. If I click it, it should look pretty familiar, to be able to use a template, build from scratch, and I can see what's running against this particular team or this particular Microsoft 365 group. Just happen to be looking at it from the Microsoft Teams side. But again, go in, build from scratch, select your trigger, select your action, and have at it. Create a workflow directly within SharePoint lists or libraries, or like you're seeing here, do it directly from within Microsoft Teams.